Everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and today we are going to be doing something with, this has been hanging out in my shop for a while, this big candlestick. It's huge. I didn't measure it yet to know how tall it is, but it's big. So literally my hand is on top of it. So it's quite tall. Rather than just painting it, which I had debated, but I never got to it. So it's just been sitting here for a while. And usually that tells me I'm not done in my head with figuring out what I want to do. What I did decide that I want to do is I want to turn it into something a little more practical. So I hit my stash and I've decided that I'm going to add this Lazy Susan to it. As it happens, this is pretty much the exact diameter of the top of this. So I'm thinking if we attach it, then we can paint this baby out. And it can be a rotating little table for the backyard. I mean, this sitting on top of it, it pretty much comes up here. It's kind of a nice, if we were in the backyard, I could put my drink on it. I could have, chips on it, whatever. In the home, it could easily fit, a big planter on it. And the nice thing about it is that you just turn the table when you need to be rotating the plant because it keeps gravitating toward whatever the light source is. I can't nail it together. This candlestick it's got a big chip out of it. So it's plaster kind of. So trying to nail through this is just going to destroy this entirely. So what I am going to do is use a honkingly embarrassing amount of various glues. So I will apply them here, and in the middle I'll do a mound of hot glue so that when I turn it upside down and squish it, that'll work. But the edging will all have like construction adhesive, and I'm just going to use a variety of them in spots all over so that between them all that something is actually going to work and is going to adhere. The only thing that I will do is this has this plastic rim that is inserted down into, it's got this little ridge down into this ridge on here. I'm taking that off so that I have pure contact between this and the surface of my candlestick. And then we are going to leave that for the remainder of the day and overnight to be drying so that it's fully dry before we start looking at painting it, which gives me overnight to figure out what the heck I am going to be painting it like, because I don't know yet. So got to figure that one out. But once I glue it, I'm committed, and I'll work something out overnight, hopefully. All right, this has had more than enough time to dry. It's been days, and quite honestly, it's pretty darn solid. So for those of you wondering whether or not using multiple glues like that works, it does. Now, I would want to sit on it, right? It's not that sturdy, but it's definitely sturdy enough if you're moving it by the base here and you're going to be taking it around to various locations in your house, you're fine. You're fine. What I am going to do is get the whole thing painted one solid color to start. I haven't yet figured out or decided what the heck I actually am going to do it with, but I did decide I haven't used blue in a while. So I'm going with Bohemian Blue from DIY. So this is my clay-based paint. It doesn't preclude me from using other paints, but it is this deep, dark, rich teal. And as much as I've cleaned the surface, I really don't need to worry when I'm using this paint. It sticks to anything. So I'm going to get you know, one definite solid coat on. I may do a touch-up coat, but it depends upon what I'm going to do next. If I'm going to be using a lot of water on it, then I might want 2 coats. If I'm doing, you know, like washes or drip finishes or those kinds of things, then I want to have a nice solid base. So I'll at least try and make some decisions along the way. But I'm just going to get this painted. Oh my goodness, every time I use this, I love this color so much. This has had 2 coats and it's all dry. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to take brushed steel, which is a metallic paint from Fusion, and I'm going to create kind of a glaze with it. Now, here's the thing. This is almost dry. Like, it's very thick. It's not moving anywhere. And I need it thin. So I figure rather than getting out a new jar of glazing medium, I'm just going to take my Tough Coat, which is also by Fusion, and I'm just going to slowly mix this in, thinning it out. Now, this is when you've got your all-in-one paints, because once they go hard, they're hard, right? They're done. This is one of the things that you can do just to thin it down to be like a paint texture again, right? That it's just nice and smooth and easy as a paint. So you can see that it's already getting smoother. You don't typically want to water it down and then leave it in the jar, because too much water has now eliminated any of its sealing properties. But if I'm diluting it with sealer, I really haven't compromised that at all. So it's really up to you as to what you need it for, what you're going to do with it. But I need this to be very liquidy. And what I'm thinking is this silver is going to be nice, but still subtle against the blue. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see if I like it. If I like it like that, I may leave it like that. If I decide that's not quite what I'm looking for, I'll do more. It's just paint. So, you know, sometimes, guys, I know people, I know there's some people who watch me going, you should have practiced this. You should have planned this. You know what? I don't have time for that. And this is just real life. This is how I work. Okay. So you can see that's pretty liquidy. But I'm not going to use all this for this project, but that's not a big deal because it's still going to work fine because it'll slowly thicken up again. All right, so a couple of things that I have that I misplaced. Okay, I have a glove because this has got a built-in sealer and it'll get under my nails and it'll be all over. And I have an old t-shirt that I've cut up and I am dipping it into water. So that's the sound you hear. It's just a bowl with water. And I'm squeezing out as much of it as I can. But I want this damp, wet rag. And I have a brush. So, maybe I need to have 2 gloves on. I'm going to paint with one hand. I'm going to dip with the other hand. This is how I get into trouble because I start doing things with the other hand I didn't anticipate. All right, so because this has a built-in sealer, I'm going to have to work fairly quickly. So I'm going to do this just in sections. Okay, I'm putting some of this silver on, but I don't want all that silver on. So I'm going to take my damp rag and I'm going to start just pouncing on it to remove some. And this is where you can see, like, I'm having to definitely move to get that off. But oh my goodness, I'm loving that look. So the rag just helps it go mottled and gives it just this kind of antique look and finish. And then I can rinse and repeat. So I'm just going to keep going. Oh, let me make sure I don't get a hard edge there. I'm just going to keep going, and I'll probably just keep rotating round and doing this all in sections like this, because I think that makes the most sense to avoid getting a lot of really hard edges at all. Let me go all the way around there. And I'm just going to do this for the whole piece and then let it dry overnight, come back and see what we think. It's a great way to add some texture without three-dimensional texture. Oh, guys, this is looking very cool. I'm really loving this. Well, I have to tell you, I was prepared to add the top. I was prepared to come in here today and add other layers, and that's certainly an option for you. If there's too much silver, add more of your blue, add another color. You could add another metallic. I was thinking maybe a bit of an aged bronze I was gonna do, but I gotta tell you, I like the simplicity and the look of just the blue with that brushed steel. This isn't a bright silver, and it's just kind of neutral. So remember that this started life as a lazy Susan and a big honking ugly bright silver chipped up candlestick. And we now have a beautiful plant stand. And I'm really thinking of it as a plant stand more than anything else. I think that that's the best life for it. As such, what I will be doing is adding some additional top coat. It's pretty much sealed. I mean, the blue paint does not have a built-in sealer, but because we did that wash, and actually wash is the wrong term. So when we dilute our paint with water, it's a wash. When we dilute it with a glazing medium or another top coat, it's more of a glaze. So we did a glaze, which means that the whole thing really got covered in that glaze, even though we were removing it in some spots. I'm going to add a top coat though to ensure that my blue paint is fully sealed, and for additional durability because plant stand. It just kind of makes sense. But I guess I want to impress on you a couple of things. One, think outside the box with these Lazy Susans. They are an easy thrift store find. I see them often. They are great to make over, even as a Lazy Susan, but decorating them, using your transfers, using your stamps, doing all the wonderful things with them. Additionally, though, they can be turned into other things. So similarly, just putting this onto a short candlestick um, is a great decor piece on your tabletop. So imagine maybe you have something like this and it's pizza night. It's now raised off the table, so you have all kinds of other things that can fit onto the table. Much like when you go to a restaurant and they bring you the pizza stands so that you're not taking over the entire table space. You're able to raise that big platform up higher so it's not taking up all that landscape. You can do the same thing with some of your decor, and creating some of those height differences can make your decor vignettes much more interesting. So I'm just going to get this one coated and then call it quits. And you know what? Simplicity is the name of the game for me today. So it's big, but it's beautiful. This is still adhered, glued on well. There's a lot of life in this yet, and really it started out as a really ugly, big honking candlestick that was sitting in my shop for a long time. And these are hard enough to find that I thought somebody would snap it up. I mean, I had 2 red metal candlesticks that I had less than a day. I never even got them listed, and somebody came in and bought them. I thought somebody might go for this as a project piece, but I think that people were left with wondering, oh my God, what the hell do I do with that? Where does it go? Where does it fit? And everybody's got a corner where something raised up higher for a plant rather than the plant being down low could be an awesome look. So this combination, I'm digging. Let me know what you think. Always love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas, and definitely looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care until then.